I teach 5th grade. I thought this is probably a mass email. This is too good to be true. But then I got the check, I deposited my bank account, and I was able to stop at Target on my way to work and pick up 34 new notebooks for my students that day.
This is what it feels like to see an extra $1,000 in your bank account every month. No strings attached.
I'm supporting my family. I have a crap ton of student loans. It's not about the money, but it's about the day-to-day, the things that I can, just like everyone here.
This makes me so
I haven't gotten emotional like this, but just seeing your face and all of you guys here, it happened.
Andrew Yang's presidential campaign sifted through 500,000 applicants and randomly picked these 8 to test out his signature pitch, the Freedom Dividend. It's a universal basic income plan that would give $1,000 a month to every adult over the age of 18.
Now, our country is run by a software that does not care about us at all. It's like the software of capital efficiency and economic optimization. And in theory, the mechanism to address that is the fact that we live in a democracy and then can actually make changes for the better, fix things. But our democracy now is not what it once was.
Everybody loves free money. They all seem very happy to be here and spending time with you. I wonder why.
The beauty of it is, number one, just seeing the difference it makes in people's lives. I mean, it's so touching and joyous. But number two, it shows other Americans what it looks like in real life.
Through stump speeches, debate appearances, and Iowa diner meet and greets, Yang hopes to convince America that this is the solution to a lot of our problems, like income inequality and job losses from automation. 25% of American jobs are at high risk of being wiped out by automation. That's according to a study by the Brookings Institute.
How is just $1,000 a month actually going to make a difference? I mean, has it made a difference in your life?
This is going to give me a cushion to just go out and do what I want to do. And I think that's what's going to happen. If people are going to be losing their jobs, they're going to have this cushion where they can at least get by until something comes up for them.
So how does Andrew Yang, a tech entrepreneur turned presidential hopeful, plan to pay for all this? Well, right now, his campaign is paying these Freedom Dividend recipients. But here's his big idea. Implement a 10% value-added tax on the production of almost all goods and services, everything but clothing and groceries.
If we have Amazon pay its fair share, along with Google for every ad, Facebook, Uber, all of these giant tech companies, we can generate hundreds of billions in new revenue very, very quickly.
Yang claims a value-added tax would only cause a minimal price increase in the items we buy and use every day. And plenty of other countries have a similar tax. But most economists think a value-added tax would significantly impact consumers and hit the poor the hardest. While a small-scale UBI program already exists in Alaska, America has never even attempted something like this nationwide. There are still a lot of questions about what that would look like.
But isn't it hard to really quantify how big of an investment we would see from universal basic income because this hasn't been replicated on a large scale?
Well, it's common sense, Simone, that in a country where 78% of us are living paycheck to paycheck and almost half of us can't afford an unexpected $400 bill, that if you put $1,000 a month into people's hands, most of it's going to go right back into the economy.
Yang's victory is still a long shot based on current polls. His wildly supportive fan base, the Yang Gang, doesn't want to hear that. So what about these Freedom Dividend recipients? Are they part of the Yang Gang yet?
What does this make you think about Andrew Yang as a candidate? I mean, did you know much about him before this?
No, I really didn't know anything about him. I was mostly a Bernie Sanders supporter.
Okay.
And I liked Andrew because he was similar to Bernie, and then he had ideas like this dividend.
You're obviously in a very important state in New Hampshire. Have you thought about how you're going to vote?
I'm not sure yet.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.